Hello, folks, and welcome to the Wrestling Hour. This door needs to be closed, by the way. It's all good. So, thanks to Mr. Joey, which was my dog's name, by the way. Very good name. Welcome to the show. Today is episode 258, I believe. We all set? Okay. And 258, I believe. And we are going to just be winging it today. And I do have an announcement as far as what we're going to be covering in the next several, well, for the foreseeable future of professional wrestling on the Wrestling Hour. As you may know, there are two different brands now, Raw and SmackDown. So what we're going to be covering is, as far as the pay-per-views go, we're going to be covering just the few major pay-per-views. We're no longer going to be covering the month-to-month, or even week-to-week pay-per-views. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be covering, get ready folks, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. I believe that's all the ones that really are major right now. So we're going to be covering Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. We're now no longer going to be covering all the other pay-per-views, like Great Balls of Fire. We might be covering Money in the Bank too. Which, speaking of Money in the Bank, I was able to see it. So I think that as far as Money in the Bank goes, I thought it was an okay pay-per-view. I didn't think it was the best. I thought it was really okay, not the greatest. What I didn't like is the women's Money in the Bank match was a joke. It was the biggest fucking insult to professional wrestling as far as ladies go in the world of professional wrestling. It was the greatest insult ever. And it really was the greatest insult. So I think the WWE can do better. So let's just look at because what was great having Steve last episode, wasn't it? Great having him on. So hopefully get Jay on eventually here. Maybe even someone brand spanking new who has never been on the show before. That'd be cool. But folks, as you can see, Bob's here with us. I can't believe I forgot about you, Bob. Bob is with us today. He's grading me again. What's that? Bob. Oh, okay. He doesn't want to talk right now. He's kind of giving me the silent treatment. Aren't you, Bob? Okay. Anyway, folks, I will, like I said, be covering all the major pay-per-views. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. And that's pretty much it. And I consider Money in the Bank a major pay-per-view now. I would consider Money in the Bank a major pay-per-view. So, since it's been around for quite a few years, I wouldn't say, as long as WrestleMania or Survivor Series or SummerSlam or even Royal Rumble, but it is pretty important. So I got to add one more to that. We will be covering Money in the Bank. So, we will be covering Money in the Bank. So, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's enjoying the weather today. I don't think it's raining right now, so hopefully we can get a lot of things going here in the community. We recently had a jazz festival, I believe, in Burlington, and that was pretty cool. So it was really nice to hear all the different kinds of ways of doing that kind of music. So I think, you know what? I think I would like to cover or talk about in this episode of the show, to talk about Roman Reigns. I think he is an awesome wrestler in the ring. And keep in mind that the WWE really waters down what its wrestlers can actually say in their promos. You can call Roman Reigns boring. You can call him an asshole because he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, even though he has literally no say in that and what goes on with his character. Not really, at least. Not really. At least when it comes to matches, Vince McMahon makes that decision, not Roman Reigns. So it was Roman Reigns who beat The Undertaker at this past WrestleMania, possibly retiring The Undertaker. I believe he is retired, at least for now. But The Undertaker is pretty much done. There's really not much left for him to accomplish. Now, could he, if he wants to come back at WrestleMania, would I be glad to see him? Hell yes. But I think that as far as his greatest matches, those are in the past. Like Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25, 26, I believe 27, 28 were not bad either. I believe his matches started going downhill when he faced Brock Lesnar, I guess. That's when his matches kind of started going downhill a lot, actually. Keep in mind, Undertaker's, I think, 50 plus now. 50 years old plus. So you really got to say that Undertaker is not really in the greatest shape. And he's really not, first of all. Second, because his hip needed a replacement. So Undertaker probably is retired, most likely. I give it more of a chance of he is retired more than he isn't. So I am a big Undertaker fan. Do I think he's overrated? No. But do I think he kind of takes the spotlight from guys who could possibly use it more than he could? Yes, I do believe that. So that's what I truly believe, and that's what I will always believe, because as far as Undertaker, he's a spectacle at WrestleMania. He's like the main attraction almost. That's why some people watch wrestling. That's why some people watch, WrestleMania or go to WrestleMania, is for the Undertaker. I'm talking about Undertaker more than talking about Roman Reigns. But let's talk about Roman Reigns. The new man in town, the new dog in town, right? It's his yard. Well, I believe it is his yard now. Vince loves the guy. And do I see anything wrong with Roman Reigns? No, I don't. I see a lot of things wrong with how fans treat him, though. I see a lot of things wrong with that. So I really, really do, because you can, even John Cena was booed for no particular reason. And they just don't like Roman Reigns because his character is boring. And I gotta admit, I'm not a Roman Reigns fan, but he's not been given a fair shot, in my personal opinion. He's not been given a fair shot at all, actually, because it's just not fair, in my personal opinion, folks. And I know all about unfairness, believe me. Isn't that right, Bob? Isn't that right, Mr. Bob? You're still giving me a silent treatment. Why is that, Bob? What? I'm an asshole? Oh, well. Yeah, I am. So what? Ah, well. Bob, screw you, man. Anyways, man, what? Bob? Don't say that to me, man. I'll just give it right back to you, dude. Punk. Anyway, I don't like you, Bob. It's time to finally bring it up between us. What's been boiling up the past 10 years, I don't like you, Bob. I don't. You're just sitting there not contributing to the show. You're just being an asshole, just sitting there, just doing nothing. I mean, I could have someone else sitting beside me doing that. But no, you have to make yourself look like you're important because you're wearing that shirt and everything, which that shirt's cool. And honestly, Bob, let me tell you something else right now, you punk. I don't think you're really worthy of wearing that shirt. But I'll let you keep it on because you don't really have anything else to wear. So you came today in that shirt, and I think that's great. The shirt's awesome, but you're just being an asshole today, Bob. What's up with that, man? But it doesn't matter to me what is up with that. I don't like you. Put this on silent because, wow. Anyways, folks, Bob is no longer welcome on my show. Anyway, let's get started here, folks. Let's get started here. It's like 20 minutes. So what I wanted to do today was just talk randomly about wrestling because the next major pay-per-view is SummerSlam. coming up on. Oh, and by the way, they're going to be doing the Money in the Bank, the Money in the Bank match tonight at WWE SmackDown. I believe today's Tuesday, yeah. So they're going to be doing SmackDown Live tonight. And they're going to be doing a Women's Money in the Bank rematch. You know, I kind of wish, I hope Charlotte or Natalya wins it. But it'll probably be some bullshit anyway who wins it. But I hope it's Natalya. I really hope it's Natalya or freaking Charlotte. Charlotte Flair, daughter of Nick Boy, Ric Flair. I love that guy. I really do. And he's awesome. So as you can see, I got Shawn Michaels DVD case, and I have a ladder match DVD case. And I'll tell you why. It's because Shawn Michaels has had a lot to do with ladder matches. Well, not a lot to do, I would say, actually, but he had one of the greatest ladder matches with Razor Ramon. I almost said Roman Reigns. Back in 1990, God, this was 1994. Back in 1994 for the Intercontinental Championship. And I think that was one hell of a match. So we're going to be talking about Roman Reigns probably a little later. The next pay-per-view I'm going to cover, like I said, is SummerSlam. And that'll be one hell of a thing. Because apparently we have a Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar Universal title match set up for SummerSlam. Now, does that mean that at WrestleMania, we're not going to have the WWE Universal title match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar? I believe that, by the way, do you like my Seth Rollins t-shirt? I believe he's been shuffled to the back of the card, and I don't like that. Back of the line, you know. Seth Rollins was the biggest thing a few years ago. I believe he still could be if he turned heel. Oh, and by the freaking way, but speaking of freaking, Seth freaking Rollins is the cover superstar for WWE 2K18. For WWE 2K18. He's a cover superstar. So I think that's pretty cool. I might buy it. I got a PS4 now, so I might buy that. We'll see. Not a big fan of wrestling games now. I was back in the 90s, early 2000s. Hell yeah. Count me in for wrestling games back then. Because it wasn't, you know, difficult to kick out of a pin or to throw someone out of the, out of the Royal Rumble, or Money in the Bank didn't exist back then. So, you know, that I really love how it was so simple, but yet it was not simple at the same time. That's when you know you have something special. So I believe that's really cool how video games have evolved over the years, but I also think it's cool that it would have been cool if they kept some things the same. I played, I think it was Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy on one of the PlayStation 1 games. Back in, well, probably the early 90s, or I'm sorry, late 90s, maybe early 2000s, that I played that with my brother, and we played for about a half hour because we couldn't beat each other. That's how cool these games are. I love wrestling. I love games, video games. When you have video games plus wrestling, it's the greatest thing ever. So. By the way, I've been playing Until Dawn. I believe it's really an interesting game. It's getting interesting, but I'm a few hours into it. So I really am looking forward to playing Until Dawn when I get home. Although I would say that's more of a nighttime game. Am I wrong? I don't think I am. Anyway, folks, we have a lot of cool stuff coming in the coming episodes of the show. I plan on having a couple co-hosts besides this idiot on the show. And, yeah, that's right, Bob. I called you an idiot. What you going to do about it? That's right. He's not going to say anything because he's giving me a silent treatment right now. At least mainly he is. Isn't that right, Bob? Punk. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of Bob. I'm really not a huge fan of Bob. Bob's, first of all, a bitch. He's a punk. He's a Little prune, aren't you? Aren't you, you punk? Anyway, Bob, I just can't believe you have turned this into this kind of an asshole. I really cannot believe that. But folks, let's listen to some cool stuff here where we can talk about wrestling and just enjoy wrestling. Love it, right? Well, by the way, they have a freaking mini Super Nintendo coming out. I'm definitely going to get one of those. I want some, by the way, am I the only one who is craving freaking cookies right now? I didn't think so. By the freaking way, folks. By the way, the graphics aren't up. I just noticed that. Where's my bottom lower third? Forget it. It's okay. People know this is the Wrestling Hour. They don't need to be told. So, this is the Wrestling Hour, folks. And if you just tuned in, where in the hell have you been? To quote Tony Schiavone or Eric Bischoff or whoever said that. But I believe that with with different things in life, the controversy creates talk. Wrestling creates controversy. And with controversy, you create cash. So that's one thing Eric Bischoff always said. And I believe that is a true statement. And so that's how that goes, folks. And if you want to look up the Wrestling Hour on YouTube, you can. It's on YouTube. At least some episodes are, as well as my other projects. So you can look up the Wrestling Hour on VermontCam.org. No. That's their website. You can go look up Vermont Cam, as in camera, on YouTube, and you can go to their Facebook, their YouTube, and look up all the different shows of VCAM. There's Conversations with Kay, there's Stormraiser, there's, I believe they have some of Street Signs on there. They have a bunch of cool stuff on YouTube, VCAM's YouTube page, or channel. So look that up and always like it. You should always like a YouTube video if you like it, cool. If you don't, dislike it, I guess. But you probably shouldn't dislike it because when it comes right down to it, VCAM is really, a lot of the producers of like me, like Steve, like Jay, like all the other ones, put a lot of hard work into their shows. And it's just awesome how, and I know I do this every single freaking episode, but it's awesome how people put so much hard work into their shows. And I did a show before this episode of the Wrestling Hour. You might know what that is once you see the date. But it's really awesome how they just put a lot of hard work into their shows, a lot of cool stuff. You know what I like to do? I like to have an interview show where I interview my alter egos. Like Nikki the Nerd, Stormraiser, and that's probably it. That'd be first 2 episodes. Wouldn't that be interesting? That'd be a shitload of editing, though. That'd be a crap load of editing. I could come in one day and tape myself, and come in another day and tape Stormraiser, talking to me. God, would that freak people out a little bit? I think it would. That'd be hilarious. Isn't that right, Bob? You punk. I don't like you so very much these days, Bob. By the way, who drew your eyebrows on there? Anyway. I saw someone was kissing you, too, the other day. Bob is he is, what are you, Bob? I don't even want to know what you are, because you're a punk, and I don't like you that much. No, what? You're not CM Punk. You're just a punk. So, no, you're not CM Punk. Oh, speaking of CM Punk, I do like that guy. I believe he's making a public appearance somewhere. Don't really care where. Am I a fan of CM Punk, or was I? Hell yes. But when he left, and just left the fans high and dry, and he still chant CM Punk, CM Punk. I don't think we should chant CM Punk, because of the fact that he just doesn't care about us anymore. He doesn't care about the damn fans. He only cares about what's best for him, and that's fine. But he should treat the fans with more respect, is all I'm trying to say about Punk. Phil Brooks. But what do I have here? You know what? Let's listen to, I don't know. But we can listen to some Roman Reigns. I believe Roman Reigns is a good wrestler. He's a very good wrestler, actually. And the ring is very intense. He can take a lot of beating. But I also believe that, oops, turn this off. Turned off. Okay. I also believe that what really happens in the WWE ring is not what the wrestlers actually want to do. This is kind of a behind-the-scenes episode of the Wrestling Hour, and we're going to have a lot of cool behind-the-scenes stuff on the next half hour of the show. I think we're about half hour in. So, folks, what can I do for the next half hour? I believe we're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff, so stay tuned. But behind the scenes, like even the announcers have Vince McMahon in their ear telling them what to say, or what not to say, or whatever. So that's that. That's just the way it goes. I don't really like that. I wish the wrestlers had a lot more to say, what they can say, can't say. I wish they had more of a leniency of what they can say. So, ho, 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 and a ball of run. Anyway, that was weird. Anyways, so let's go. What are some of Roman Reigns' best matches so far in his career? I believe some of his best matches are with members of the Shield. Like when he was in the Shield with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. I believe that particular series of matches with the Wyatt family, those matches were incredible. Those matches were really incredible, folks. It was really incredible to see them flying around like that, kicking each other's ass, basically, and just really having fun with it. They really had fun with it, those matches with the Shield and the Wyatt family. Oh, and by the way, Jinder Mahal, I don't talk about him very much, is the current WWE champion. I believe it's a good thing to have a lot of diversity in the WWE championship picture. Now, does the WWE need to build new stars? Hell yes, they do. They do need to build new stars like Roman Reigns, like Jinder Mahal, like Seth Rollins even, and Dean Ambrose. So, those guys are the future. AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, a lot of different guys. Even Brock Lesnar is going to be on a couple more years, I think so. The Hardys, broken. Now, speak of the Hardys, let's talk about the broken gimmick, the broken Hardys gimmick. I believe that could be done very, very well if done correctly. Now, I believe the WWE should do everything they can to get the broken Matt Hardy gimmick out there. Maybe not broken Jeff Hardy, but I believe they should have Jeff Hardy be the charismatic enigma again. They really should have him be like the underdog, and because he doesn't weigh a lot, so he can't do his high, powerful moves. But Jeff Hardy is one hell of he has heart, that's for sure. So, as much as I'd love to see the broken Hardys, I want to see broken Matt Hardy go out on his own, and Jeff Hardy be so Matt do the broken gimmick, and Jeff do the charismatic enigma gimmick. I believe that'd be great, actually. It'd be awesome. So I believe that's the best way to go. They can do, and they may have Jeff Hardy join them later. So, but I believe they need to do something with Jeff and Matt that's never been done before, especially with Matt Hardy. Because with his broken gimmick, I believe he could be the WWE champion. I believe he could be Universal champion. I believe he could be, our world champion. So it really is cool how they can just have that. I hope they have that gimmick. I really, really hope they do, and hope the WWE gets their hands on it. So that's my 2 cents about that. Now, what would I say about, because Kurt Angle may be wrestling again. Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist, Mr. Milk, may be wrestling again at WrestleMania 34 next year. And he'll be facing Triple H. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't think it is. Should Kurt Angle win? I don't know. I think he should. I think he should win. I think he should be near the top of the card. If Kurt Angle passes a WWE physical, I believe that Kurt Angle should be at the top of the card, if not in the main event. Now, there are a lot of new guys I haven't talked about yet, like Shinsuke Nakamura. We haven't talked about that guy yet. That guy's awesome. I can't wait for him to have some great matches with AJ Styles, even Seth Rollins, even Randy Orton. If you ever get a chance to, I believe Shinsuke Nakamura is on SmackDown, right? I believe so, along with AJ Styles, and Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler, I think, too. By the way, Dolph Ziggler has been busting his ass for a long time now. He really has been busting his ass. I don't like how they're treating him. I really don't like how they're treating him. I really, really don't. But let's just start here, folks. Let's get going and start. We started like a half hour ago. Let's begin this portion of the Wrestling Hour with it's brought to you by ladder matches. But now I want to get into something different. I really want to get into something different. My question to you guys, question of the week, question of the fucking week. Do you guys who are old enough, or guys or ladies who are old enough, think WCW ending was the worst thing ever to happen to professional wrestling ever? I believe it is. It folded, it's out of business, it's whatever. So it's really not something that I think will ever be considered a good thing. The ending of World Championship Wrestling is the worst thing ever to happen to professional wrestling. It's the worst thing ever. And I'll tell you why. Because with the WWE now, then the WWF, I don't think that without competition, there's no reason to improve your product. Why improve it? Ratings don't really matter anymore. Back in the 90s, they did. Back in the 90s, they really, really mattered. Because I'll tell you why. Because you can tape like VCRs, but now you have, oh God, VCR. But now you have a DVR. So you can just tape it and record it and watch it later when you're not even at home. So I don't think ratings matter because of that. They certainly matter to a point, but not as much as they did back in the 90s and early 2000s. But I do believe that without competition, there's no reason to improve your product. And without WCW, World Championship Wrestling, breathing down Vince's neck, there's no way he's going to try to improve the product. Because, by the way, Raw's ratings are slipping, so are SmackDown's, and their attendance records or their attendance, figures are going down. So is this slow, agonizing death of the WWE? I don't know. I don't know if it is. I think it's definitely changed a lot. Wrestling has changed a lot. Has it gotten worse? Yes, it has. Has it gotten better in some areas? Yes, it has. Like during the Attitude Era, I don't believe we had a lot of good matches. Like from the Austin era to say, I don't know, 2002. There are those 4 years, 98 to 02. We didn't have that many great matches. Now we have matches of the year every single week on Raw and SmackDown. So I believe that women are treated better now than they were back in the 90s. In the 90s, they were just TNA. But now they can actually show off what they have for skills, for wrestling skills. I might do a women's wrestling only show. I might do a women's wrestling only, which I did recently, kinda. I did that kinda recently, but not really. So, folks, I believe that wrestling is on a horizon, and we'll see what happens. So, with wrestling, it's on the horizon of something. We'll see though. And by the way, I gotta say that I love you guys who watch this show. I really do love each and every single one of you. It's given me a lot of good advice over the years. And by the way, dare I mention it again, this show is going to be 10 years old. This coming September, mark your calendars, this coming September, this show will be 10 years old. I will be with VCAM 10 years. This is my VCAM pose. This is 10 whole years. This is my VCAM little still that I want for my VCAM, when you put the show on VCAM website. 10 whole years, folks. 10, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10, folks. 10 whole years of doing the wrestling hour. And honestly, there's nothing I'd rather do with my time. There's nothing I'd rather do with my time than spending time with you guys in your living room or bedroom or bar. I don't think I'd have this on at a bar. But you never know. This is what's so great about wrestling and VCAM. You never know what's going to happen on the wrestling hour. Or you kind of do. But then you kind of don't. So what are you going to expect, right? You expect Bob to be silent assholes. What you're gonna expect? Isn't that right, Bob? Well, folks, I love you all. I can't really explain that any better than that. So, I mean, back to Roman Reigns. What are we gonna do with him? I think he'll become Universal Champion, possibly at SummerSlam, or they could have Brock Lesnar come back for WrestleMania and lose it then in Roman Reigns. Are they having a match at SummerSlam so they don't have to have it at WrestleMania? I don't know. Although I can guarantee you that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar will be the main event of SummerSlam. I can say that to you right now because it's very true. That'll be the main event, the last match of the card of the night. Will be Roman Reigns versus the Beast Brock Lesnar. So, folks, I challenge you to come on this show. I really do challenge you. Or just start your own show here at VCAM. It's awesome. I haven't really plugged this for a while, have I? I believe you should come to VCAM, make a show. That hurts them. And make a show and definitely just do your own thing. Because VCAM has a lot of shows right now, but they could always use some different ones. They can always use your show. They can always use a show about monkeys flying around them trees, or the monkeys really fly around on trees. More of a squirrel thing, I think. Although, I don't know, I'm just a big fan of monkeys. I think monkeys are great. Do you see that video of that monkey swirling around and that freaking playing around in that pool? That was great. In fact, I want to play that right now, actually. I got another friend request on Facebook. I don't care. They're all fake people anyway. God damn. No, I don't want to confirm her. They're all scammers from Nigeria, more or less. For what? Anyway, folks, I hope you're all having a great day out there. I really hope you are. I really hope you're all having a wonderful day without Bob. He's a douche. Anyway, he's a douche wagon. Aren't you, Bob? punk. Anyways, folks, I don't mean to get on Bob's case here, but he is a punk. So I call it like I see it. Isn't that right, Bob? Oh, bitch. What's that? Well, just look at me when you're talking to me, Bob. What'd you say? Some drew pupils on you, too. What'd you say? That's right. He's not going to say it now because he muttered it under his little breath there. And he's not going to tell me now. You're something else, you old bitch. Anyway, Bob's a guy, by the way. I don't like calling him a bitch, but isn't that insulting, Bob, when I call you a little bitch? Isn't it, you little bitch? Isn't it, Bob? When I call you a bitch wagon, does that really... How does it make you feel? What? Bob just revealed something to me that... Bob, what? Where did the bad man touch you, Bob? Where did the bad man touch you? He touched you on your private area? You don't have any privates. You're just a head. A little bit of a neck there, too. You don't have any balls, Bob. You don't have any balls. Literally and figuratively. You got no balls. So there's no way any man can touch you there. Or would even want to. Yeah, that's right, Jill. Anyway, I'm trying to do the show, Bob. I'm not trying to argue with you on my show. I'm not going to argue with you during the show, Bob. So get the hell out of here. Go. Bob. Go. 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 Bye. God damn. Bob, folks. Bob. He's an asshole. Oh, boy. Anyway, folks. So I hope you're all having a great day. Watching wrestling, or watching VCAM, and watching me get in arguments with Bob. So. Oh, Bob's an asshole. Anyway, folks. Hope you all love professional wrestling. Is it worse than it was 25 years ago? Which was like 1990. What was 25 years ago? Well, that was 1992. So I'd say 23 years ago. Or 20 years ago. Well, you know what? Actually, whoa, holy shit, come to think of it. I've been watching wrestling for 20 years this year. So this show is 10 years old this year, and I'm watching wrestling for 20 years. So yeah, that's right. I started the show in 1997, or I started the show in 2007. VCAM was very much different back then, but I believe VCAM's awesome, but it's definitely evolved over the years. So has wrestling. Wrestling has definitely evolved over the years. It's changed. It's stayed the same in some cases. In a lot of cases, it's really changed. In some cases where it's stayed the same, it's definitely got a lot of wrestling in it. I mean, a lot of like the wrestling ring is still there, the entrance music, everything. So that's how that goes. And things that have changed are just the wrestlers. The WWE is PG now, so I believe it has changed a lot. So that's how that goes. Now, what makes the WWE different from any other wrestling company? Like New Japan, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling. I believe it's different because it's really global. The WWE is really, really global. And oh, by the way, the women in professional wrestling and the WWE are going to have a Mae Young Women's Tournament. So that should be really an interesting thing to have I believe it's called a Mae Young Classic. Mae Young Classic Tournament just for women. So I think that's going to be awesome for female wrestlers, the ladies out there. And that should be really, really cool to have that, to show their stuff, you know, show their talents, their skills in professional wrestling. So I believe it's really an awesome thing. They're showcasing what the women can do in the ring, not just what they're gonna have for what they're gonna be wearing tonight. It matters what they do in that fucking ring, because it's really what they do in that ring that matters, not what they have on their chest or anything stupid like that. What matters is what they have in the ring, if they have it or not. So I believe Charlotte Flair is probably one of my favorite right now. Natalya has always been my favorite. She always will be my favorite, pretty much. Really big fan of the Hart family. So, but let's talk about China, since we're talking so much about women's wrestling. China passed away last year, I believe, and she really needs to go in the Hall of Fame. Or was it 2015? Not sure. I believe it was 2015 she passed away, China. So that really sucks that she did pass away before she got to really make peace with the WWE, with people there. So that sucks she didn't get to. But folks, I believe she will go in the Hall of Fame eventually. Macho Man did. Macho Man did. A lot of wrestlers. Bret Hart did. Bret Hart went in 2006, I believe. So did Eddie, unfortunately, Eddie Guerrero. Which, by the way, I've always been a huge fan of Eddie Guerrero. I'm a huge fan of that guy, or was. I probably always will be. I always will be a fan of the cruiserweights, because specifically Eddie Guerrero, because it really is a cool thing how he rose from the rock bottom to become the WWE champion, to become really the most popular Latino wrestler really ever. So I think it's awesome how they did that. I believe in WCW, Eddie Guerrero was not really allowed to be himself. He wasn't really allowed to. Really just be himself. And the WWE, he really was allowed to be himself. Eddie was great. I was a huge fan of him, and was shocked when he passed away in November, I believe 13th, or November 13th, November 13th, 2005. Then, of course, Chris Benoit passed away about 2 years later. Chris Benoit, despite what he allegedly did, was really a great wrestler. He was a good entertainer, too. But when it comes... Why is it so cold here all of a sudden? It really was interesting how he became WWE World Heavyweight Champion. When Chris Benoit beat Triple H that night. Where's my water? Do you have any? And it's really interesting how, it really was great and interesting how the WWE had them, Eddie and Chris. Oh, shit. And bring us at the end of WrestleMania 20. That was awesome. That was the greatest WrestleMania ending of all time. WrestleMania 20, Eddie and Chris, hell yeah. They're both gone now, unfortunately, but those are two of my favorites, easily. Two of my very much favorites. But hope whoever they are, that they're having a lot of good matches together. So, but I wanted to share this bag with you all. I share this bag every now and then. I love this bag. It's really heavy duty, first of all. Kinda. And kinda. And it has a WWE logo on it. Same as this blanket right here. And it's kind of a throw blanket. By the way, you can get these throw blankets at freaking FYE. They have some cool ones right now. I don't believe they have this one, but they have like a WrestleMania one. They have, so they can get these at FYE. I'm not telling you to go get them. I'm not advertising. I'm saying you can get these at FYE in the University Mall. They have a big wrestling section, so near the front of the store. So definitely get your hands on one of these. They're just cool to have. So, I'm the only one at VCAM who brings his own cloth, his own table covering. Anyways, folks, I believe I'm winding down here to the last 10 minutes, I think. And so, hope you all are really doing well today. Hope you all are having a good day. And I believe the Wrestling Hour now, compared to when it was live, is really for hardcore wrestling fans. This show is really for hardcore wrestling fan. The casual wrestling fan, yes. It can also be for the casual wrestling fan. But I believe that the WWE is on the brink of something different. But they'll make it out like they always do. But anyway, back to when the Wrestling Hour was live taking phone calls. Do I miss those days? Kinda. But do I also believe the Wrestling Hour's best years are ahead of it? Not behind? Fuck yes, I do. I believe that the Wrestling Hour's best years, the best episodes, are still to come. So hope you all tune in. That's all I got to say. My throat's tired from talking for an hour and a half. I did a show before this, an episode before this. Anyways, folks, let's listen to some wrestling music. Now, if you could have any, also my question of the week. What? Oh, Star Trek Discovery. Looking forward to that, kinda. If you could, here's a question I want you all to discuss amongst yourselves. If you could have any wrestling theme music, what would it be? If you could have any wrestling theme for your, any wrestling entrance music for your entrance, what the heck would it be? That's, I'll show you mine, what mine would be. I will show you mine if you show me yours. That sounded kind of sexual, doesn't it? Anyway, so, yeah. Want me to show you what my theme music would be? Yeah, I'm going to change it, actually. This would be my theme music. If I ever were to become a wrestler, this would be my entrance music. Come on. Mr. CM Punk. 10 minutes. 10 whole minutes. Know which one I like, though. What's one I also like is The Rock. The Rock. Can't stop him. What's that? The Rock is cooking. Let's talk about The Rock for a little bit. I believe that The Rock is going to come back at some point. Or maybe not. But I believe he will at some point. And have a match maybe with Kurt Angle. I believe they had some good matches back in 2000. Or the way early 2000s. I'm talking 2001 to 2000 to 2002. They had some great matches. You know what I always consider a part of the year 2000? That specific year is Triple H. I always associate Triple H with the year 2000 because that's really when it started becoming about the new guys, at least back then. Hard to believe it's freaking almost halfway through 2017. Time flies, right? Is that what they say? So I have about 9 minutes left now, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. I may end kind of early today. We'll see. But if you would like to come on the show, call VCAM and we can arrange something. I may or may not set up an email for this show. We'll see. But we really will see because I've received some interesting emails over the years. I believe that now that I'm not live, I believe it would be better, but I'm a little hesitant to make an email. We'll see though. But if it would help you get a hold of me, that's fine. Or you can get a hold of me on Facebook. You really can get a hold of me on Facebook or at look up Nick Brissette on Facebook. You can look me up on there. Send me a message, send me a friend request. You may or may not want to be on the show. It's fine. If you have some ideas for the show, that'd be great. I'm always open to ideas, new things to do on the show. So if you really, really, really want to be on the show, I might let you. And I will let you, because I'm looking for a co-host now. It is hard though to get people to come in front of the camera. Really, there's like chairs there. There's a camera there. A camera I'm you're looking into right there. And there's a camera right there, and there's some guy in the booth over there. So who I want to thank for getting me the DVDs all set today. And I guess just watch VCAM and make sure you always appreciate what the other producers do, what I do, because it's not easy. Like I said, I've done VCAM for about 10 years now, and I know that it's not an easy thing to do. Okay? It's not an easy thing, but is it one hell of a rewarding thing? Yes, it is. But it's also not easy. And I will never, ever, ever say it's easy, because it's not. My throat's screwing up right now because I've been talking for so long. Literally, I found my ending. Whoa, this almost fell over. Bob just freaked me out right now. His bald head. Someone put the tape back on his head. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later on. I don't know how many minutes I have left, but it's fine. I'll catch you all later on. And be good. And watch wrestling. I remember one time, a little bit of a factoid. I remember that when I was making the graphics for the first show, first episode, back in 07. By the way, the original email for the wrestling was actually still open, believe it or not. I might look at, I think it's on Gmail. Anyway, the guy who I don't know who the hell it was says, is this gonna be about wrestling or wrestling? I don't really know the difference. Not really, although I probably should. And by the way, I am gonna watch The Wrestler. I am gonna watch that movie. I am gonna watch it, probably on YouTube or something. I can download it. Anyways, it's probably not on YouTube, but I probably will buy it. And I hope you all go watch The Wrestler. It's really 5 minutes. It's really a good representation of what the wrestling life is like. All the traveling, all the painkillers you have to take, all the pain, all the bumps, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. The real story, it's a really interesting life. So I will see you all next time on the show. Be good, and catch you next time on the Wrestling Hour.
The visual man is chasing me. Woke up this morning, my tires were flat as flat can be.